Hello, people. Just wanted to jump on and just give a quick reminder, right? So, all of my videos are about, different topics. Basically, they all have something to do with reaching your goals, right? Like whatever you're working on in your life. Each week is mostly about talking about how to get to where you want to be. And a lot of the videos are about internal kind of goals. So being able to love yourself or have confidence or self-esteem or whatever it is that you're working on, as well as like relationship stuff and finances and business and whatever. And one of the things that I just want to remind people is the importance of practice, right? Like you have to practice. So, for example, I did a video on patience, right? And I talked about here are 2 or 3 things that might help in terms of increasing your ability to be patient. Well, the thing is, in order for us to master anything, right? In order for us to master, so when I say master, I'm essentially talking about it not being a fly by night thing, right? So we don't want our confidence or our ability to love ourselves or our ability to have healthy relationships or whatever goals we're reaching for, we want them to be sustainable, right? We want them to be consistent. And in order for us to get to that place, we have to master things, right? So I could focus on patience, right? So I did a video on patience. I'm in the season where I'm working on patience. And it just so happened that today I beasted it, right? I was so patient. Listen, if I had the time, I'd tell you. But just trust me when I tell you I responded with the level of patience that I may not have ever responded, okay? But the thing is, I got to get up and do that again, right? That's the bad news. Next week, I'm going to have to be patient. Tomorrow, I'm going to have to be patient. Probably tonight, I'm going to have to be patient, right? Like, I have to be able to practice that until being patient becomes my normal, right? Now, it's no longer a random event that happens in my life. Ooh, I was patient on Thursday. Today, that's where I'm at, right? Today, I'm just patient on Wednesday. But eventually, if I practice and if I'm intentional, then being patient will just become a part of who I am. Right? So I just want to remind you that no matter what we're talking about on the videos, no matter what I'm sharing or suggesting or, giving you tips for, all of them require practice. So it would be wise if you didn't try to work on 5 things at one time, right? Because if I'm reaching for whatever it is I'm reaching for, it usually takes a bit work, right? Like, so I just want to just put that on your mind. Are you practicing or are you giving up too soon? Right? Like if I talk about forgiveness or if I talk about coping or whatever, are you doing that for a week and then deciding it doesn't work because you didn't get the results that you want? Right? Like we live in this society where everybody is about instant gratification, which I get, right? We're a product of our environment in a lot of ways. Anything that I want, I can get it right now for the most part, right? Walmart's 24 hours. I don't really have to wait. And so we naturally become impatient over time. And if we're not careful, we don't understand the value of practice. I see this a lot with parenting and requiring our children to do certain things over and over and over rather than just giving up because it's too hard, right? Like I don't force my kids to go to church because it's too hard to get them up and get them dressed and dealing with their attitude, or I don't make them do chores all the time because that's all that missed me with that, right? Like we do our kids a disservice when we don't help them instill some patience, right? So I won't get into all of that because that's on my soapbox. But I just wanted to remind you, what? Remind yourself? That was unnecessary. I just wanted to remind you of the importance of practice. In order for you to master a thing to where you are in a consistent state of peace, and consistent doesn't mean all the time, it just means most of the time, right? I'm mostly confident. I mostly have high self-esteem. I'm mostly whole. I'm mostly, whatever. Because life is going to happen. There's going to be some stuff that throw us off our game. But if you practice and if you get to a point of mastery, throwing off your game is so rare. So be sure to practice. Those are my thoughts. Feel free to comment, share, like, all that. I'll holla at y'all. Peace.